As marketers, we're having a lot of fun testing the boundaries of what exactly AI can do. And since I have a new book coming up, we thought it would be really fun to take the exact same guides, give it to a couple of AIs, a couple of designers off of a general website, and then to an actual design firm and see what they come up with for the covers. Then to make it even more fun, we thought we'd bring some experts in and see if they could tell the difference between the ones that were designed by AI, the ones that were designed by the general designers, and the ones that were designed by the actual design firm. And while we're at it, let's see what they actually think too. So we brought in a designer, a neuroscientist, and a behavioral economist to see what they think about the designs overall, but also the impact that they're going to have on the marketplace when this book hits. If you want to see what the final cover will be, stay tuned. We'll show it to you at the end.
My name's Melina Palmer. My work is in applied behavioral economics, which essentially is just like understanding why and how people make decisions, how the brain really works. And then what I do is help people to apply those insights into their work so you can like set up your communication and things so customers buy and employees buy in. And as you said, I've written a few books, and I definitely toiled over the details of the cover design, and there are little like Easter eggs in them.
To send me an early copy of Inner Propaganda, and I'm having so much fun.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Mostly out of curiosity. I see a lot of practical application, but why this book right now?
Well, first of all, this is a book that I've been wanting to write for years, and it's about my favorite topic in the world. So even now that I'm finished, I even enjoy doing the end notes, the references at the end. That's how much I like this subject, because normally I write a book, I really love it until I don't. This one, I still, all of these, years later, I'm still absolutely delighted and excited about the whole process. So
you ready to see some covers and see what you think?
I am ready to see, yeah. I'm not a graphic designer though, so my opinion means probably little. I'm pretty good with titles of books, but covers, it remains to be seen, but we'll do our best. It's nice. I think it's quite plain. I like the idea of the line through it, but it feels very much like almost like a manual or like an old school sort of book inside of a niche. Sometimes people use the term clean to describe it, and I think that is clean. But I think when it comes to stop guessing at your marketing, for me, psychologically, I like the idea of something a little bit impactful than that. And I understand, clarity is king and or queen, but I think there's just something more that's been missed out on it.
I feel like I can say like not probably going to be my favorite one in the realm of options. It's just pretty basic, and I don't think I like that it has big letters and it's font. Obviously my books have long titles, and so I think there's something about helping to be able to actually read it. So like being able to read it, good. Stop. I like maybe the idea of a cross through it or something. But I think it just is, I guess, is how I would feel about the lines like off center, and it's not thick enough. And I'm leaning into like, you need why wouldn't we have a stop sign of when we think about behavioral, even the color red, there's like a lot of things that would be very obvious here.
I see a little too much of negative space. I don't think I like very much the stop shown that way. I feel it's too negative. About the colors, maybe it could work. The fonts, those are sans serif font, but I think this is not a design I would recommend.
Straight away, definitely like it more than the first one, just because the color as well. Musical instrument is there, because that reminds me of you. So that fits very much with your brand. I actually really like that. I didn't expect to like it because there's so much text. Something that no one would ever put on the book. I kind of like that. And it kind of does stop me in my tracks. It's like, oh, hang on a second. It's a story brand. Okay, we know what that is. Get different. Okay, if I'm into marketing, I know what that is. Not 100% sure what is meant by the stop guessing at your marketing, what's inside the O and the O about the you're and the stop. But it looks cool. And I do really like the musical instrument, although not sure how it's relevant to the actual idea. And unless you know that kind of would be, I suppose, a moment of confusion for me.
This one is another level. I like the stop that way much better. The contrast, the use of colors. I don't think I would use the geometric shape in the your inside the O of your the word. About the fonts, yeah, I like them. The violin there, yeah, I think it could work. But I feel maybe it's too crowded. Too many things used at the same time.
So I can appreciate that these are things that would relate to you because I saw the violin in the background. I was going to ask about the violin, and you have the pop of color that's, in the background. Um, my concern with a title like this is that I'm not really sure how it relates to the reader, right? Like, so it doesn't, my marketing is not for music or for art. And so what I think it's not for me, in this um, case. And so maybe if there's one kind of curious thing that you can lean into versus multiple is what I might recommend for someone. Because if I look at this and go, what's this like, what does this have to do with this? I don't know. I might put that back because I don't immediately kind of understand what it's about. If you were going to lean into one piece, I would think probably is the color burst because that's kind of a fun, eye-catching aspect, but also don't necessarily know how it ties into what something I'm going to learn or something about what I'm doing wrong or like the tips or something. I don't know are in any of these. I would guess feels like the one in the middle, the O is like a bolt, right? Would turn from a wrench, like that maybe is kind of what I get from that. And so that might make sense.
I like the font over the white. I think it stands out and it's quite clear. But I think the explosiveness is a little bit too over the top there. I think it's saying something, but I'm not 100% sure what it's saying. I think your name is too small there and it's, marked over on the left. I wouldn't be a big fan of this either. Overall, the guessing at your marketing, colors are okay. I think the size of the font for the actual title is good, but the size of the font for the other two things, again, looks nice, but wouldn't vote for this one.
So we went from a very crowded design to a very simple design. So as I said before, I like the stop. Maybe this one has a much bigger, how do you call it, like puff there. Well, the colors are okay.
I like the idea of how the like the color burst changes the color of the word. I think that's fun. I might extend that through like even the guessing at your marketing. Like, so if that whole like upper triangle is blue and the stuff below it is orange. But again, the question of like, what does this have to do with the experience I'm going to get in here? It might make sense with your brand and that work, and that's cool, but it doesn't immediately make me understand like differences between the two colors. I kind of think to color theory too of, like I said, red is stop for a lot of this. So even just a shift from red instead of the orange could be something that would be impactful there.
Yeah, overall, I think you got a title problem. I think your cover art is boring and looks like a pot leaf. You need something that says who the target is, who's marketing, or are we selling shoes at the flea market? Who's marketing? Who's your avatar? Who's your customer? And why would they buy this book? Currently, I don't know who they are, and I can't see any reason for anybody to really buy this book. Guess at marketing what? It's way too general, way too broad. Looks like some AI-generated thing that isn't very good and completely ignorable. Doesn't stand out on the shelf. Doesn't have a compelling reason to buy it.
I like this. To me, this is simple, it's clear, it straight away grabs your attention. I really like the font. It's a little less bold, and by that I mean pushing it out there, like, being a little bit mad, a bit crazy, a little bit off. And I kind of prefer when the name is a little bigger and it's centered. I think the color works. Color inside of the O works as well, and I definitely like the font. I really do think that this is one of the ones that will grab attention. I always also look at when I see a book, does it grab my attention if I'm walking in the store? Is this something I'd pick up? Can I read the title from a good bit away?
First of all, that color is close to yellow. It's not yellow, but it's close to yellow, and we never deliver a yellow background because of printing issues. Then the stop is very simple. I don't think it has a very strong, like, it's not a playful, maybe it's too simple.
This is interesting. I like you definitely focus and look directly to the color pop, and there's good readability.
I like the background. I like the effects. Musical instrument, I'm not sure. I do like the top with the blue. So I think it's solid enough. It's not bad. I wouldn't pick it.
I like the contrasts in the violin shape. I like the use of the text hierarchy. It brings attention, and I like the use of colors. I think this is one of the best ones.
Okay, I like the way that this is using the asset, like the way it combined them. It's less distracting than the other one, where it sort of just put everything together. When it comes to books, it's like, is this something you're wanting to send to people that already like know you and that are on brand? And it's like I'm speaking and then I'm giving out books versus like I want someone to pick this up at an airport type of a book and immediately get what it's going to do for them. I think if it's the latter, like you want people to just come across the book and say, "Oh yes, I need this." I don't know that the violin is something that leans in for them of getting what it is. I mean, the look of this one is clearly bringing a better balance of the color. Your eye is going to move, throughout this, and I like that color pop is fun.
No. No, to me, this is like the first one, but just different colors. I know it's different because there was a line through the first one, but it has that kind of workbooky type, I don't know, old school. No, I wouldn't choose this one.
Okay, so this is a very different version. The background is too dark. I don't like the way the child is used there. I wouldn't present this version to a client, but I don't think it's selling the book.
But this feels a little bit more like Ocean Sunset and also like a textbook.